cast in Helluva Boss, Lindbeck. You did not show me this much love. Make sure you get the questions ready. In fact, we got a lot of questions. If we do, why don't we line up right over here on this side if you got some questions, just so I don't have to make sure we get through everybody. Ready to do this? Let's just go ahead and get started. I'll throw out a really easy one and then the audience can do the rest. Is there any upcoming projects or anything you want to talk about? Maybe some stuff?
Helluva Boss is coming out in October. There's a Halloween special coming out. Yeah. Any John Waters fans are going to be very excited. Woo! John Waters is the director from the 60s and Hairspray. We're going to watch especially this show. And yeah, anyways, it's a great episode. I'm just filling up time because no one was talking, so please, one of you three, cut me off, please.
I have nothing to promote.
Well, that's okay. I'm just excited that they're now finding out about Joe Waters because I was just saying the median age in here is about 16, so they probably haven't watched it for me.
I don't think I have anything that I can legally talk about right now. Yeah.
Ooh, I love that.
That could go both ways.
Yeah, it's court cases. It's restraining orders against me. Honored to be nominated. Happy to be here.
All right. Who has the first question? We got a line. Where's our line? Let's see. Okay. Let's line up behind her. If you have some questions right over here. Yes, ma'am. Right there. Is it okay? She can put both of us? All right. Come on. Let's put you right here. Are you good? All right. First question, please. Yeah. Let's go.
So, the new stuff is with the party going on, is that like all of Blitz's exes, or is it like just people she's had run-ins with and people who's like just pissed off at some point, you know? Is that like that?
I have a question, Blitzy.
Yes,
Are all of your exes?
I think he's just a slut. I think there's no way in hell you could date that many people.
Yeah, because it's people like inside, outside.
Of him and in the others, he's inside everywhere. And I think it's safe to say that even if it was just a hookup, it was bad enough for years later than to go to a party and stick knives and things shaped like his wiener. So
I thought it was like everyone who was willing to say they ate him.
everyone who was
with him.
Yeah, well,
I don't know if he everyone there, but I like to think he did, mostly because he's my character.
thank you.
All right.
Hey, if we have the people standing up, we do have some seats over here if you want to use the button as well. Say it loud. You're good.
This is a question for all three of you. When you were first presented with a script for the character and you were just reading about the character in general, what was your first impression? Like, oh, I'm so excited for this character. And versus once you've gotten so far down the rabbit hole of this character now, what is your now impression of the character?
When I got this script, I've said this a million times and I'm sure it's on the internet forever, but I thought it was a furry fighting game. So I literally did I did the audition at my friend's house because I didn't even want to go home. I was like, oh, it's fine. I was like, he has a studio, so I just did it. It was like 3 lines from the pilot, and then I didn't know what it was. I booked it, and then I walked into the pilot, and they were like, oh, you didn't get the script. You're covering every female character in the pilot. Also, here's a song. that Millie sings. And I was like, oh my God, okay, great. So we did it. And I'm super happy about it now. Sometimes you fall ass backwards into the coolest stuff. Like I'll be hyper fixated on some callback I did and then, not get the part. And then something else will pop up. And yeah, I'm super, super grateful. I'm really happy that I got to hold on to Loona after the pilot and all that. So yeah. But yeah, furry fighting game was my first idea. Like, what was that? Like, you don't get it.
Yeah, I got an email, or Viv wrote me on social media and said, would you audition for this? We didn't know each other, but it was already the pandemic, and so I had no other emails asking me for work. And the character description said, the voice of this character is half King George from Hamilton and half Monty Navarro from A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, which is a part that I originated. And so I said, well, I think I've got about half of that in the bag. And so
You could totally, oh my God.
Oh, trust me. There's a King George in my future somewhere.
Oh, yeah,
So my impression was that I was like, okay, this is a regal character. He's British, and then I got to my first day of recording, which likewise was in a friend's, garage studio because it was shut down. And the first scene where I had to call Blitz, and they asked me to improvise what Stolas wanted Blitz to do to him. And I was like, sorry? I had to explain it to me, and I was like, oh, okay. And I'm an owl?
Yes.
Okay. So then I just started to improvise, and nobody stopped me. I just kept going and going and going. And, a minute later, I said something about jelly sandwiches. And they were like, and then I stopped, and there was silence on the other end. And I thought I had lost the job. I was like, I think I just got fired. Like, I think I'm gonna get arrested for what I just said. And then they pressed, unmute, and they were all laughing. Oh no, I think I just found out what the show's about. And yeah, so that was my first impression. I had no idea what I was falling fast backwards into. And now the thing I love about Stolas is that, as I said to a number of you today at the table, there's such a complexity to all these characters that Viv has subtly and slowly doled out over the storyline. That, like, by the end of the series, we'll know all these characters in a new way, I think. And I certainly have grown to love how complex and tortured and sassy and all the things that our Owl Daddy is. I've talked for a long time now, and I want you to talk.
I was just about to get out the lotion. You keep talking. Blitz was always kind of a blank canvas when I got the show. I didn't get the character. Viv came to me. We met at a Starbucks, and she had a binder, and there were 3 shows in there. There was like a pitch for 3 different shows. She said, I want you to help me write one of these shows. And it wasn't even going to be a show. It was just a proof of concept, just like a little 10-minute or however long the pilot is. 5 minutes, yeah. So short. And she said, can we just do this fun little thing? And there was no storyline other than it's a workplace comedy in hell. And I would essentially be like the Michael Scott of this thing. And yes, it was. I think all 3 of them were kind of workplace. I don't remember what the other 2 shows were, but Helluva Boss definitely drew me into it more than the other 2. And so the boss character there was essentially no personality type. I think Viv just saw the kind of personality that most of my characters exude on YouTube, and was like, can this kind of be a boss character with what you normally do on YouTube? And so she gave me a lot of flexibility with Blitz's sense of humor, Blitz's his wants and his needs, and there's a lot of similarity. She let me basically make a cartoon version of myself. I think the only difference is that he's murderous and likes horses. But beyond that, yeah, she just gave me.
You don't like horses?
Oh my God! I need to. I just want. Yeah, everyone's giving me horses, and I go home and I have a closet filling up with different sized horses with different sized dicks. And the horse, Blitz's horse obsession, if you notice, that was not established through dialogue, because that would mean that I would have had to pre-fruit it before it went to animation. audition. No, some animator named Sam snuck that in there because she's obsessed with horses. So every time he holds up a horse because horse print is background. I didn't write that. That wasn't in the script. An animator allowed my character to have an obsession I didn't agree on, and now I get horses thrown at me, and I get people asking me to draw horses, and I get people asking me. You know what I do with those horses? I throw them at Sam when I get back home. So, anyways, Blitz, horses.
I remember, Brandon, like, when I walked in to do the pilot, I could tell that you had never done a voiceover job before. And it wasn't because you weren't absolutely fantastic, it was because you would do this incredible take, but you would be completely off mic for 80% of it, like, almost took the mic stand out a couple times, and I was just going like, what in the doing? I was like, what is happening? What is going on? Like, why is Richard Horvitz here? Like, what is going on here? It was wild. You were so good. And then I remember seeing it at the premiere, the Has Been Hotel pilot premiere, because I truly went, I don't know how this is going to come together. I really don't. I don't know what I just did. And then I saw it and I went, oh my god, like, this is really good. You were absolutely, like, you were a generational talent, Brandon, like, truly. But it was just like seeing it all come together. I just went, oh my god, like, this has really got some special sauce here. Like, man.
Thank you for. You make me feel so good, Erica. No, that's true. That was. I'm watching the playback footage of when we shot the pilot. It's very embarrassing because, I'm clearly Erica's right. Like, if you see any of the footage, I clearly have never been a voice actor before. Because I'm going like this, I'm talking, and like the mic is in one spot.
I did that too when I first started, and I still do it sometimes. Also, I had just come from the night before E3 was happening, and the night before the Final Fantasy VII remake had been announced, and the cast list had dropped, and I voiced Jessie in the FF7 remake, and so I was super hungover because I was at a Square Enix event the night before, and then I just like stumbled in. I remember my voice was just so bassy that day, so it's like I was so hungover.
I'm sorry, one more thing I was about the pilot, because I've never mentioned this before, and it's I feel so guilty about this all these years. When we shot that, I assumed that you and Viv and Richard and everyone, I thought you all were a group. And I thought I was this like newbie that was brought in there, and I never even told Viv this, but I thought this was just gonna be like a one and done thing that was gonna fizzle out, and I didn't go to the premiere. Because I thought it was just like a little thing that I did with a group of people that I wasn't a part of, and I was just like, oh, that's fun. But now I regret it, because every con I hear that premiere brought up, like Richard or someone's like, yeah, the premiere, we first all got together. I'm like, I should have gone to that thing. But I didn't know this was going to be a big show. Then you do these projects and you jump on and do a few lines and you're done, and more often than not, they don't go anywhere. So if I could, if I knew all this was going to happen, I would have gone, and I would have stayed on mic.
You should feel guilty about it forever. You should never move past it. I think that would be really healthy for you.
Ride that horse to the grave.
I'm brave?
No, ride that horse to the grave.
Oh, yeah, that horse can go
It's on. Once you get up to your mouth.
Good. Well, hey, Blitzo from Friday Night Funkin'. Alright, my question is, can we get a video of just Stolas cussing? I just want a video of like a minute straight of Stolas cussing.
Well, we usually don't do those guys.
You can come to my table, we can talk about that.
Alright, thank you.
No problem.
Next question. What was that? He's excited.
Improving the scenery.
Up to your mouth.
Sorry. I just wanted to ask, so if you hypothetically speaking, say you auditioned for the film and you were to go for any part, what character would you try to go for? Outside the ones that you've already played.
Outside of the characters you already play, which character would you play or would you want to audition for? My answer is Fizz.
I think I would make a good Billy.
Veronica Mayday.
Next question, Loona.
So there was at least one episode where Imp and sheriffs were trying to kill a man, and Blitz was dressed up in a cat suit, which made me think of one of your characters, Brandon.
You know, he was also disguised in that same episode as one of my characters. Exactly.
So my question is,
Yes, they're connected. The universes are connected. Well, they're one and the same.
yes, and did she include you guys in the previous works in other episodes?
I'm sorry, say the last part one more time.
Did she include parts of your previous works for those characters in Helluva Boss and other episodes?
Well, I can't say that. Viv does have a sniper on us, and I don't know if I could do a turn and just have it hit my ear. So I'm quick, but not that quick. So I can't say. I can't answer that question for you. I'm so sorry, but you know, keep your diaper on because it's going to get exciting.
Next question. That's right up. Every time we get doing this.
Big fan of you, Bree. As an aspiring voice actor, do you have any tips?
Any tips?
As an aspiring voice actor, I think I think the baseline tip would be that it is about the acting. It is not about the voice, and I think a lot of people get those two things. They conflate the two, or they think that doing different voices is more important. But it's really about the psychology of character that you understand and can kind of slip yourself into. I would say that you don't necessarily need to take voiceover classes. I come from theater. I did theater for like 15 years before I started doing VO. Like it was all I did. Musical theater, being musical really helps. So yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, sitting on a panel, only able to say that it is about the acting, not about the voice.
That's
It's all about the voice. No, just kidding. No, I always say, when people ask me a version of this question at my table, I always say 2 words about being an artist, being a performer, but I think they apply to whatever you want to do with your life, that I try to teach, which are patience and persistence. If you use those two in concert with each other, whereby you're patient and persistent, you can pretty much get anything done, as long as you have a little bit of each. If you have too much of one, no one's going to want to work with you. If you have too much of the other, no one's going to come and offer you a job. So, you know, you kind of got to have both. And I think to be a voice actor, there's plenty of resources out there. I think you got to go find them. No one's going to bring them to you. And then you got to put in the time and have the patience to build yourself the knowledge of how, you know, Erica just said, it's about acting. So if you don't know anything about acting, go learn. Go find somebody to teach you. And you might have to pay that person, and you might have to save up money to pay that person. And that's where you need patience, you know? So like anything that's worth doing, it takes time, no matter what you want to do with your life. Like there is no just, oh, I'll just do that one class and then I'll be a voice actor. You know, you're looking at a couple of decades worth of patience on this couch right now. So just a reminder that it takes both.
Big fan. I have 2 short questions. The first one is, if you could describe your character in 1 word, what would it be?
Daddy.
I know, I had to.
Prince.
Oh my God, the way those girls scream for you. It's like my Backstreet Boys or One Direction.
That's a whole other conversation.
My second question is for Brandon specifically. What is the highest number Blitz can count?
I don't know. 6 or 7. I don't know much about numbers. You know, that's a good. I don't know nothing about counting. Yeah, we'll just let it eat into the photo ops.
Question for all three of you. Besides your character, what is your favorite character?
Vivian Matrona from Helluva Boss.
I have to say Blitz. Yeah.
Okay, I'm changing my Loona.
My answer is still Fizz. I think Alex Brightman's voice is just incredible. And to go back to your previous question, in that case, it is something to do with the voice. You know, his voice, the voice that he puts on is incredible. And if you know anything about it, it's the sort of thing you have to train to be able to do in a healthy way. So he's put a lot of time into being able to make that voice. So I'm very impressed with that work. He's a friend, and I really love the character.
Next question.
Let's Stolas and let's get back together.
How's that sniper? How's that sniper looking? We don't know. We don't know. The truth is that we find out a lot of the stuff we find out before you, but we record these things so far in advance that I end up forgetting. And the truth is that I think Viv has an idea in her mind about where the show is headed, but most of it stays in her mind until we get into the recording booth or the writing booth, as the case may be. Was that an adequate answer? The writing booth? Do you have a writing booth? Where do you write, actually? Where do you write?
Lancer's Diner. It's for old people. It's in LA. We don't write anymore there, but the whole first season we wrote it there. Sometimes we write there. Actually, I still go there a lot. But yeah, so it was a writing booth. we literally would write it. Viv would always order avocado and slices of avocado, and I get slices of pickles, and we would just have those on tap, and just come in pickles and avocados and coffee, and we would just write up everything. So yes, I forget what your question was, but that was a good anecdote. Oh, will they get back together? Yeah, you know, the snipers aren't just targeting us either. They do fans too, so you better watch out.
All right, next question.
You see that look?
Sometimes they don't.
You're the sniper.
Sometimes they don't.
Hi, my question is, what are some of your favorite uncanned
Uncanny Helluva Boss ships. So like, well, who do they want? They're saying, who do we want to each other? I think I'd like to see Katie Killjoy get a little dicked down by someone from the Helluverse, but that's not this show. I don't know. I don't know. I can feel the sniper. I heard him just reload. So, or her. I don't know. What's that?
Not an ideas person.
We're not ideas people. You have a brilliant idea for these nails. Someone stop me. I'm just filling up more time because I don't like silence. Next one. Do you know what you want to say to me?
No, I have no idea. My answer is I have no idea. I leave that question to the fans. What's yours?
What's yours?
Yeah, what? Oh. Yeah, it's a tough one to answer. But if you come up with a good one, come tell us at our tables. Go for it.
Make it quick. What's the microphone?
Pulling out a knife, so watch out.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how gay is Stolas? I didn't know there was a scale.
You've got to be pretty not gay to Stella for that many years, so I don't think he's a 10, but that's just me. Oh, sorry, this is West Virginia like Stella.
Huge Stella country here, Brandon. I don't know that there's an appropriate answer to that question, other than I will say that I think the beautiful thing about Stolas, and the reason that Stolas is in the show, is that it's a story written about someone who's discovering more of themselves. It's more of themselves that's not been welcome in their world, and that the journey that Stolas is on is one that is allowing him, through a relationship that he didn't expect to come into his life, to reveal more of himself to himself. And that's a beautiful thing, and that's what I think we should be writing stories about, is people who are continuing to grow and change and learn more about themselves. So I'm all for that.
What would be your vocation now?
If we weren't voice actors, what would we be doing?
I'd probably be doing regular acting still. I don't know. Or I guess if we weren't actors, what would we be doing? I don't know. I can't mention it with minors in the room, but.
I feel like I work at like an advertising firm or something. I do like marketing, I think. Yeah.
I did have a day job for a long time until I was at a law firm. I worked full-time, 45 to 50 hours a week in a cubicle, dealing with people who were too stupid to see a "don't trip over this" sign. And then I had to defend them and have to, the sign wasn't, it's like some of those cases I was like, you deserve to fall. Done.
I was a waiter for many years. I know you'll be shocked to learn that. But I thought I was going to do, I thought I was going to do sports commentary. And so I went to college and I went down to the radio station and they gave me a job announcing the game. And I showed up as the color commentator and I showed up to the arena. And I thought it was a basketball game and it turned out it was a hockey game, and I never played hockey in my life. And so the first session started and the play-by-play announcer was going, and then he turned to me to say something and I knew nothing about hockey. And so I just said, "Well, Dave, they sure are skating tonight." And that was the end of my color commentary career, so I'm very glad that I'm a voice actor.
Project, let those ugly horns get through here. God, wait, did you say you love me or what did you say? Yeah, think of you.
And my credit card for horse riding
I'm
lessons.
sorry, I don't listen to giant clitori talking to me.
Good, thank you, Tony.
So this question goes out to Brandon and Bryce. Can you guys sing "When I See Him Tonight"? Please.
You don't forget. Okay, I'm sorry.
No. I'll say right now.
Sing it first. No, don't sing it.
Well, another question would be, do you guys think that Stolas is going to be passive aggressive towards Blitz throughout the entire season?
I have no idea what's going to happen, and I don't want to get killed.
That's fair.
How many of these questions, just so we can raise a hand, how many of these are spoiler questions? Okay, I'll remember that. All right.
Also, you guys are amazing. I love each and all one of you.
Thank you.
You guys, like, the show is the reason I got to meet my boyfriend. So without you guys, I would never have gotten to meet him. So thank you for being such a huge aspect in my life.
You're welcome. Thank you. Yeah, it bears repeating if we haven't said it to you already. We love this fandom, and we know how much this show means to people that we visit all across the country. And it's an incredible thing to be a part of, to hear that sort of thing from lots of you. And as much as we like to joke and, take the piss, as you would say if you were British, we really do love you guys, and we appreciate how much you do for our show and for our livelihoods. Let's go.
How do you feel that Stolas is
Stop, wait, what? Did you hook up with another? Wait, this is news to me. I thought they were just doing a tongue diddle at the party. I didn't know that. Stolas, after this, I'm gonna sniff that cloaca, and if I smell one other imp down there,
I'm not happy about it. Doesn't that answer your question? I'm pissed, and now I got to go to therapy. Finally.
You need to talk to your parents, though.
What is your favorite voice line and/or blooper that you've ever shot while shooting?
I'm probably sorry if I sorry because well no, I came up with it when we were writing, and I thought Viv was going to say no, and she was like, oh, that's funny, keep it. And I'm like, okay, and then I sit in the booth and I was like, damn, I got away with it, like it made it through to print. Yeah, it's very funny because it's something I say more often out of character than in character.
All right, next question.
Who is your favorite, or least favorite character?
Least favorite character out of the whole show?
The kid we killed in the pilot.
Yes. Yes. Yep. Dude, I'm sorry, I keep staring at your bee cosplay. Can you stand up for a second? Because, like, the makeup. Oh my gosh, it is serving.
I don't know that I have a least favorite character, to be honest. It's a hard one to answer.
You realize what the fan is going to do if we say any character, we get crucified.
Y'all are wild, so like we try to keep our wits about us.
Okay, sorry about that. Next question, come on. We got all the line. Let's try to get through as quick as possible. Okay, go ahead.
What's your favorite and least favorite?
Favorite and least favorite voice line. I think we already did one.
My least favorite line? Oh, or yeah, let's see if I can have it. I don't have a least favorite line. I wrote just about everything I've said, so I like it. I guess, yeah, I don't know. Oh, when I had to say the slurs. When I was the penguin. Oh, damn you all. I did wah wah. That's what I said. That was probably my least favorite line, was wah wah, but we know what he was saying.
Are we sure?
It's up to you. If you want me to leave it over here, go back and forth. Sorry, we can only get two for some odd reason.
I'd say probably, I'm not screaming at you guys, but the shut the up! That one is my favorite, I think, because it's my only line in the episode of Lululand, and it packed a punch, and I'm very happy about that. I'm happy they kept it in.
All of our favorite lines have the F-bomb. Mine is, that was the sound of a
We have time for one more question. I'm so sorry.
Okay, I just
want to say congratulations. Ben just got engaged earlier today.
My question is, what are all of y'all's favorite moments in the whole series?
Favorite moments in the whole series? Not a bad question to end
That you guys have seen, and then I'm able to talk about Loona and Octavia's scene in Seeing Stars. But there is a lot more Loona eggs coming up, and I love it.
I think my favorite moments, all of them are in the Halloween episode. This was an episode that I wrote 7 drafts of this thing, and I feel very, very confident in it. And I've only seen an animatic, but it's really good. And I think all of my favorite scenes are in this one. So Ghostbusters, October. I don't know when it's going to drop, but it's in October.
And I would say, lately my favorite, I actually really love Drunk Stolas in the last episode. a lot of fun to get to, you know, as I say, anytime the character gets to do something new, release something, or be emotional in a way that they haven't been allowed to be before, I felt like Drunk Stolas was a lot of fun to record, and I kind of love that scene, as painful as it was to get there. You know, I love that dark shit. So yeah, that's my answer. And thank you all for being amazing and for hosting us here in West Virginia.
Come on, everybody. Huntington, let's give it up for Erica, Brandon, and Bryce. Remember, they're going to be at the table all weekend. Come see them. Thank you so much, Huntington.